Greetings YouTube, time for another bargain video. So we're going to start with media and do some art type stuff, then we're going to move into fabrics and some tools, and then we have a special piece to end this particular video with. So first up we have Weapons of the God role-playing game, which is kind of a wushu style high fantasy setting. A game I have heard of but never actually seen a physical copy of, and I got this for $22 and it's normally a $40 book. It has a little bit of wear about it on it, but I don't care. It was a nice price. The last 3 minutes, which is speculations on how the universe may well end. This is a play on the first 3 minutes, which is another book which deals with the cosmic realm, which I have read years ago, so I'm kind of intrigued by that one. We have The Witch Must Die, The Hidden Messages of Fairy Tales. This is also a book for me. I've been bad. I bought some books this time. I know I shouldn't have, but I did. We have The American National Parks and Destinations, which is for my wife. We have The Unholy Popes, which did not cost $8. I paid $1 for it. But it's all about some of the more outrageous things that popes have done. Outrageous but true stories of papal misbehavior, though I personally would say that that's what all they're guilty of. Then we have Lethal Warriors, When the New Band of Brothers Come Home, which is about how our veterans coming home are suffering from PTSD and physical injuries, and how we're not giving them the support they need. And hopefully this will help explain how to give them the support they need, because I believe that we should actually support the troops that we send into harm's way. I know I'm wacky like that. Then we have a small leather-bound edition of The Hobbit, which my wife wanted, which is very nice. It's got a nice cover, it's got a nice feel to it, gold edges. So she liked that one. We got that on sale. And then we have this little deck of cards that are said the best ever dinner party icebreakers, and they're all kind of random questions that are supposed to help break the ice if you have people who don't know each other. And I picked it up for, I think it was $2. It had never been opened, as in case I ever need a video idea. There you go. Whip that out. Then we have some DVDs. We have a National Geographic special about The Lord of the Rings, Beyond the Movie. I haven't seen this, so I thought I'd give it a try, because I did really enjoy the films. Then we have the remake of The Bad News Bears. So now I own the original and I own the remake. Now I have to watch them again. I haven't watched the original in years, and I've never seen the remake. Then we have Iron Man Armored Adventures, which is a teenage Tony Stark building the Iron Man armor and trying to find his father and save him from some, impending doom. So hopefully it'll be lacking the alcoholism, and maybe the father issues will be a little less severe, because the father will still be alive. Then we have the An American Werewolf in London, which is a great film. I haven't seen it in a long time, and this is the collector's edition. We have Steam Boy from the director of Akira. I've seen this film once. I wanted to see it again, and for $3 I figured I couldn't lose. Then we have Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure. I've never actually seen Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure, so there you go. Now we have some ceramic. Now this I picked up because it is some incredibly good Roku-style glaze. This video is not doing justice to this, because you can't feel it. And those are not chips. That was intentional. Those are actually glazed over. This is just a really well done, and it also has a nice feel to it. And we have this very large bowl by one Jane Held, Heald, which I need to look up, because this is a professional piece. There's no way this is not a professional piece. Her signature is very professional. So I want to look this up and see who she is. And I bought this as a potential wedding gift, because I'm always looking for bowls for wedding gifts, and this is a good price. I picked it for $8. And we have this small round vase, because I like the shape of round vases. And it kind of had an interesting stamped, kind of almost a four-leaf clover kind of look in there. Obviously done by an amateur. This is who's named Lois. And I liked it. I thought it was quite well done, and made me happy to see it. Then we have a tiny little ceramic elephant, which has a dangling elephant off the end. And this looks like it's made out of glass, I think. And kind of an Exumi style thing, even though it isn't. But my wife saw it and she thought it was cute. So we picked it up. I think we got it for $3. I don't know what we're going to do with it yet, but you can like hang it off a shelf and the little elephant hangs off the end. It's kind of cool, kind of cute. Then we have some blades. This is a glass knife, and the edge is chipped. I know this. I picked it up cheap. It's vintage, if not antique, and I would like to see if I could regrind the edge, not chip it. I understand that glass is normally chipped. I don't want to see if I can regrind it, but I know nothing about grinding glass. So anybody out there can point me in the direction of a good tutorial. If you know anything about grinding glass, drop me a line. Then we have this, which is an actual folding knife. You use this to unlock it, and both to unlock it to close it and unlock it to fold it, to unfold it. And this rotates here, rotates out of the way, and the whole thing folds up, and the blade sticks out past the handle. It's a style that I did not have in my collection. I mean, it's just a Pakistani blade, and it was I picked it up for $10 at a thrift shop. So, but I didn't own one, and I kind of like the idea, and it's got a nice heft to it. Then we have this incredibly tiny little knife from Monkeys, I think it is, M-U-N-K-E-S. I'm going to do a review on this one, but it's just so cute. It was only $5. I bought it new, and it's really quite comfortable. Yeah, you see there. There we go. Here's the name. See if you're going to focus on me. M-U-N-K-E-S. Maybe you aren't, but I apologize. And then we have this, which is another Pakistani blade, and I picked it up at an antique shop. I really liked the color. The fit and finish is quite good. There's a small spot of rust here, which I can probably take off without too much difficulty. It has a very nice heft to it. This is brass bolsters, brass liners, steel springs, a lanyard hole. It's got a fish scaler, and the main knife blade with the nail nick. And I really like this. I'm going to do a review on that one too. It's just a really nice feel to it, and it makes me think of the old style fishing knives. So there you go. This is the first part of this video. On to the second. Alrighty, on to part 2. We have a purple top, which is kind of almost like a thermal type design, a little lighter than that, which I picked up for, I think it was $2, and I paid, and it was brand new. It's still got the stickers on it, so that's cool. We got up, but my wife's been looking for a craft apron, and we found one with the United States Postal Service logo on it for 50 cents. I'm like, cool, we'll use that. Kind of makes me smile because my father retired from there, and he still is on the board of directors of the credit union. Then we have a outlandishly garish jacket and a pair of obnoxious striped pants, which are part of my wife's Halloween costume. I picked those up cheap at Goodwill. Then we have some bar towels, which we'll use for the kitchen, which have beer themes on the back. Here we go. Beauty is in the eye of the beer holder. Pictures of beer. My wife is a fan of beer, and we picked these up cheap because we always use more towels for the kitchen. We have a set of, I picked up a set of Dremel style bits from the hardware store, and I believe I paid $5 for this set. And while it's not an official Dremel brand bits, they're Dremel bits. Okay, let's face it, that's what they are. And I always looking for replacement parts because these discs wear out and things like that. And a lot of some of these I don't have in my set at all, so that was kind of cool. I don't have a buffering wheel like that, things like that. So I thought that was kind of nice, and it was again $5. Can't lose on that. And then we have a grinding wheel. This is a Black & Decker grinder. It's an older model, obviously. It's got 2 wheels built in. This is a harsher grade than this one is. There is no support stand on this particular model. I don't know if there was originally. I think there might have been, but it's now gone. I may rig something up or just use it freehand. But I picked it up at a guy's garage sale for $2. And I can't lose on that. So it works. I plugged it in, tested it before I bought it. I am going to have to bolt it down to the banister or something outside because I don't have any place inside to use this yet. But for $2, I thought it was a great deal, and it should allow me to do some work on smaller metal items that I don't want to break out the angle grinder with, because the angle grinder is really only useful if you have something larger. I can clamp that item down onto something and then grind it. This will allow me to work on smaller pieces. And again, for $2, how can you lose? And then we have one last item coming up. And here we have the last item, which I am covering with the tea towel at the moment. As many of you who know, or who have been on my channel many times, I collect weapons. I love them. Occasionally, I find them at flea markets and yard sales and thrift shops. Doesn't happen often. And for every cool item, whether it's a weapon or not, you see on my channel, you're looking at 12 to 15 stops where I find squat. So there's a high noise to signal ratio when it comes to finding cool items. But every once in a while, out of the blue, you stop at a yard sale that you didn't even know was taking place. A lot of the time I look these up on Craigslist and such. Sometimes you just drive by, see a sign, you follow it, and you go. And you find cool things. Now I found two things at this yard sale. The purple shirt I just showed you a moment ago, and this. And this is one of the cooler items I have found at a yard sale, and an item I have personally wanted since the first of this film series was released. So yes, this is a film prop. It is not a real item in the sense that, you know, crafted for this purpose. It is a prop. But it's still quite nice. It has a nice feel. It has a nice balance. People are probably starting to figure out what I'm talking about. So here we go. This is the item that I found at a yard sale. That, folks, is Sting. This is a Pakistani prop from the film. And I found this sign entertaining. Beware, very sharp. It's not very sharp. It does have an edge, though. I was kind of surprised at that. It has an edge. And it came with this hanging wall mount. Turn it over, and it's got a mount for a screw to hold it onto the wall. And it did not have these two L brackets. They were not present when I bought it. I just bought some mice for myself and put them in. And it has a steel pommel. This is cast. I'm not sure if it's aluminum or just a white metal. Has a vaguely stainless steel wash to it. And this is a stainless steel blade. The vines on the grip are just painted on. Potentially even just used with a marker like that you'd find from a Sharpie or something. And it says Pakistan right there on the blade. But I've wanted one of these since the first film was released. I thought it was just a cool prop. But I was never willing to dump $125 to $140, depending on where you saw it online, on this particular prop. But I didn't pay that much at this yard sale. In fact, I paid $12. Yes, folks, I paid 10% of what this item is being asked for even today on the most reasonable sites. It has a 15-inch blade. I think it's about 2 inches wide, and I just happen to love that leaf blade shape. And it actually doesn't have a bad balance point. The balance point's about here, right there. And so it's not bad. This handle is slick. You would want to not be wearing gloves or something if you wanted to use this. I mean, and you could come up here and hold it like this if you wanted a little more control, but again, that puts your finger at considerable danger. And it's designed, you know, mostly for thrusting, only a little bit of slashing. But this is a nice looking blade, and it's going to go on my living room wall where I have a movie reel, so this will be a theme touching on that. So I'm quite happy with the fact that I own this. I think it's very cool, and I'm glad it's part of my collection. And again, I've been wanting one of these for a very long time, and I never thought I'd find one, particularly not for $12.